Hello everyone, you're welcome once again to my YouTube channel. My name is Bola. I hope you are doing fine, as I am also fine. So today we'll be looking at how to draft a shoulder dart pattern. And on my pattern paper, I already have my lines ruled out. I have my shoulder line, the bust line, the under bust line, the waist line, and my allowance. So my paper is on fold. The first thing I'll be taking on my pattern paper is to determine my bust span. Bust span I'll be working with today is 4.5. I'll be working with bust span of 4.5. Okay, and I'll connect all the points together. I'll make it to a straight line. So after collecting the points, I'll come over to my shoulder line. I won't be taking 4.5. I took 4.5 for my bust span. So my shoulder line, I'll be taking 5.5. I'll be locating 5.5 on my shoulder line. So I'll try to make a curve to connect to my bust line. So I haven't connected the points, so I'll cut out now. Let me quickly go over it again. On my pattern paper, I have my shoulder line, the bust line, the under bust line, and the waist line. And so for the bust I'm working with bust circumference of 40. So the bust span I'll be using is 4.5. So I noted 4.5 on my lines and I made it into a straight line. But on my shoulder line, I increased it with a 1 inch to make 5.5. So I connected the 5.5 to the 4.5. So I'm going to cut out now to form our middle piece. So this is now my middle piece. So now, to cut out my side piece, I have a new pattern paper folded into two as well. So I'm going to place my middle piece on my new pattern paper. I'm placing my middle piece on my new pattern paper, but I'll make sure I have to 2.53 inches on this side. I will leave up to 2.5 or 3 inches. Okay, 3 inches. I'll make it to a straight line. So I've made it into a straight line. I'm going to place my middle piece to cover it. I'm placing my middle piece this way. So I'm placing my middle piece on it. So I'm going to trace out the line on my middle piece. Okay. So I'm going to note the bust points, the under bust, the waist, and my allowance. I'll also make it into a straight line. before I insert our measurements. Let's quickly do that. Okay, having done that, we can then go ahead to place our measurements. So I'm coming over to this shoulder line. I will insert my shoulder measurements. I will insert my shoulder measurements. The shoulder I'm working with is 16 inches. 16 divided by 2, which is 8. So I'm going to okay, I'm going to place it that way. So from this point, I'm noting 8 inches. So I'll be putting 1 inch for allowance. I'll be adding 1 inch for allowance on the shoulder, allowance to join it at the shoulder. So I'm making room for that 1 inch. So from that 9 inches, I am coming down by 8.5. That's my armhole, 8.5. So I'll make it into a straight line. All right. So I'm going to determine the midpoint of my armhole. I'll determine the midpoint of my armhole is this point. So I'll be going in by 3/4 inch. I'll be going in by 3/4 inch to draft our armhole. Okay. So that's how to determine the front armhole. Okay, that's how to determine that's the front armhole. So you can use whatever design you like on your neck line. For my neckline, I'll go 4x4. I'll be doing 4x4. 4 inches and 4 inches depth. Okay. All right, so please note that the woman's shoulder is slanted, so we're going to take our shoulder slope of 1 inch, our shoulder slope of 1 inch, 1 inch shoulder slope. Okay, 1 inch shoulder slope. I hope you can see. We are slanting 1 inch. So we can then move over to our circumference measurements. So on the bust line, I'll be inserting my bust measurement. I can also do that on my chest line. This is now the chest line. The armhole now is the chest line. I'm working with bust circumference of 40 inches, and 40 into 4 will give me 10 inches. 10. So I'll be taking allowance of 2 inches. My under bust measurements, my waist measurements, waist measurement 34, so that is 8.5. 8.5. So I'm also taking 2 inches for the allowance. So I'll connect the points together. So I've connected the points. So before I open up, let me quickly go over what we have done so far. We took out a new pattern paper. After drawing up our middle piece, we took out a new pattern paper. I left allowance of 3 inches before I place my middle piece on it. Before placing my middle piece. So after placing my middle piece, we determine the shoulder. We determine our armhole, the bust, the under bust, and the waist line. So we made it into a straight line, and then we inserted the circumference measurements. I hope that is well taken now. So I will then open it up. I'll place this by the side. I'll open it up. I'll place it by the side. Then for my shoulder line, I'm going to curve to meet my bust line, to meet my under bust. From my shoulder line, I'll be extending this maybe by 2.5, 2.5 inches to meet my under bust. Okay, so for my bust point, I'm doing 2.5. I'm extending it 2.5. 2.5. All right. So from my shoulder line, I'll just cuff out this way. I hope you can see. All right. So I can then join the cuffs, the knotted lines. I can then join it. So this is what we now have. So we're not going to cut. We are going to cut it and see. So this will be our side pattern and our middle piece. Our side piece and our middle piece. So let's cut out now. So I haven't cut it out. This is now what our pattern looks like. This is how to draft a simple method on drafting your shoulder bustier pattern. You can see the bustier effect coming down to the shoulder. So this is the simplest method on how to cut your bustier effect. Then I will then transfer this to my fabrics. I'll transfer this to my fabrics, and I would include my allowance. Though I have included the allowance on the pattern, but the joining allowance, I will just extend this a little so that when I join together, it will still fall back to my pattern. I hope it is well taken. Please, if you have stayed with me till this time, really appreciate you, and I'm soliciting for more subscribers. I really appreciate those who have subscribed, and please, those who are here to subscribe, what are you waiting for? If you have learned one or two things from my video, I really appreciate you. Subscribe and like, share my videos. Kindly put on the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload new videos. Thank you, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye.